This series is proudly brought to you by Uniting Age Well, supporting seniors to remain healthy, active and connected. For care and support tailored just for you, contact Uniting Age Well today. This program is suitable for most people, however it should not replace a supervised exercise program. Please consult your local doctor before commencing an exercise program, especially if you have one or more of the following: have had joint surgery, any medical condition affecting your heart, lungs or blood pressure, joint inflammation, you have not been doing regular exercise. Stop exercising immediately if you experience one or more of the following: chest pain, shortness of breath, nausea, dizziness, numbness or tingling in the arms or legs, severe pain or discomfort in your joints. The producers and distributors disclaim any liability or loss, personal or otherwise, resulting from procedures in this program.
Hello, welcome to Move It or Lose It. My name is Stephanie. I teach yoga and meditation. The theme for today's class is yoga sitting in a chair. So all of the poses today will be completed from a seated position in a chair much like this. So if you can find yourself a chair, ideally with no arms and a relatively hard base so that you're not sinking into it. We want to be seated about halfway between the front and back of the chair, so not leaning backwards. Definitely sitting up nice and straight with a long spine. Now, if you don't practice yoga regularly or it's been a little while since you've done any practice, it's really important that you listen to your body and you take care of yourselves. If you've been advised by your healthcare professional not to do any specific types of movements, then you should absolutely listen to that advice before any instructions that I'm giving you. It's really important to understand that in yoga, we shouldn't feel any pain. You may have heard the saying, no pain, no gain. That's not the case in yoga whatsoever. In fact, there's more gain if you're not feeling any pain. The sensation of muscle stretching can be quite intense sometimes, particularly if you don't stretch those muscles regularly. That's okay, but actual pain, we certainly don't want to be feeling. If you do feel pain in a pose or you feel that you can't maintain a pose, always come out of the pose in the same way that you've gone into it, and don't wait for me to tell you to come out if you really feel that you need to move. Always listen to yourselves first. Now, the first pose that we'll be doing, we're focusing on the neck and stretching that out. So take your heads and your chin over to the side, looking over your shoulder. Hold there just for a moment, and then we'll come back to the center. Make sure you are sitting nice and straight. Your spine should be very long here. And we'll go over to the left-hand side now. Chin towards the shoulder. Stay inside what's comfortable. Back to the center. And we'll do both sides one more time. Over to the right. Remember, stay inside what's comfortable for you. Back to the center. And over to the left-hand side. It's not about how far you come in this pose. It's just about increasing gradually that range of motion. Come back to center now. Now we'll lift up and down as well. So we'll lead with the chin, lifting as high as you can. Lifting, raising, lengthening through the front part of your throat. And dropping down now. Come back to center. Now we'll drop the chin towards the chest and we'll tuck the chin in towards the hollow of your neck. Make sure your shoulders stay loose here. Let's come back to center now. And we'll begin to lift up again, always leading with the chin, lifting high. And coming back. Dropping down and tuck that chin into the chest so the back of your neck gets a long stretch there. And back to center. Take a breath. Now the next variation of this that we'll do is dropping our head to the side. I want you to be really mindful of how your neck feels, and I really want you to move slowly in and out of each of these positions because there can be a lot more tension in the neck than you might expect. So let's take our time and we'll move together. We'll go to the left first of all, dropping the ear towards the shoulder, creating length between the upper ear and the shoulder. Let your shoulders come down towards the floor. Lots of length there. We'll come back to the center. Make sure that your head stays face on in front. We don't want to be twisting at all. We'll drop to the other side, keeping the head straight, lengthening through the side of the neck. Take a long breath here. And slowly lifting back to center. We'll do both sides one more time. Dropping the left ear down, lengthening through the right hand side. Shoulders soft and loose. And back to the middle. Last side now. Take a long breath here. And releasing slowly out of this side as well. Give your shoulders a small shake here just to release any tension. And the next pose that we'll be doing is shoulder rolls. So we'll leave our hands resting on our thighs, and you'll find that your arms tend to move backwards and forwards perfectly fine. Stay wherever they're comfortable. Let your hands be really heavy on top of your legs. So breathing in, bring the shoulders forward and lift them up. Breathing out, go all the way backwards and down. Breathing in again, forward and up. Breathing out, backwards and down. Breathing in and breathing out. We'll continue with this motion for a little bit longer. Shoulder rolls are a really great way to release tension from the neck and from the shoulders as well. You can do shoulder rolls pretty much any time that you want to. They don't need any warm-up poses before, they don't need any poses afterwards. So it's really a great thing to put into your routine somewhere if you're finding a lot of tension releasing here. Go slow. Follow your breath, really let the shoulders move through the whole range of motion. And we'll make this the last one now. Breathing in and breathing out. And relax there, take a long breath. Again, a small shake if that feels good. The next pose we're doing is a variation of a cat pose. So your hands will come towards your knees, your arms will be relatively straight. As you breathe in, we want to lift the chest, arch the spine forwards, look up as high as you can. As you breathe out, we'll move exactly in the opposite direction. So arching the back towards the chair behind you, almost as if you're trying to touch the back of the chair. And then breathing in, we'll lift all the way up again. So it's a sequential movement. In an ideal world, we want the movement to be ongoing. So we breathe out, we arch backwards. We begin to breathe in, we begin to arch forwards and up. Imagine like a wave of motion continuously, moving to the back, moving to the front. It really is the chest that we're leading with here. So curling in as you move backwards, the head comes down. And leading with the chest as you lift high, long, round spine. Take your time, go nice and slow. And remember to always stay just inside what's comfortable for you. And then we'll come back to a neutral spine. Take a long breath here. Let your shoulders drop down. And we'll take a break here for a few moments. We'll see you back here very soon.
Continue doing what you love with the help of Uniting Agewell. With 5 Agewell centres across Melbourne, our highly experienced health and exercise professionals design tailored wellbeing programs for older people using state-of-the-art exercise equipment and technology. Receive assistance with physiotherapy, occupational therapy, podiatry and exercise therapy, including yoga, tai chi, Pilates and stretch classes. Start your journey to wellness today. Contact Uniting Agewell to find out how.
Welcome back to this chair yoga episode. The next pose we'll be doing is a simple twist. So make sure you're seated in the middle of your chair. Make sure your spine is nice and long. We'll go to the left side first of all. So take your left hand to the back of your chair, your right hand to the front side of your chair. Lengthen through your spine, really lift your chest. And as you breathe out, think about the shoulders moving around behind you. So each breath in, the spine is really long and tall. Each breath out, the shoulders are moving just slightly further into that twist. Now you can have your head looking out over the side, but we definitely don't want to be reaching around with our neck. The neck should be very soft, very gentle. The movement here is definitely the breath in with lengthening the spine and the breath out with the shoulders moving around into that twist. Use your breath. Really breathing into the chest. And allowing that breath to help you with your stretch. Long breath in and long breaths out. Okay, we'll release our hands now and we'll come back to the center. Hands on your legs just for a moment, reset yourself. We'll get ready to move to the second side. So bring your right hand to the back of the chair. Take your left hand across your lap to the side of your chair as well. Again, breathing in, lengthen through that chest first of all. Breathing out, focus becomes the shoulders moving around into that twist. Long breath in and long breath out. This is a really simple way to increase the mobility, particularly through the top part of the shoulders and spine, also through the whole length of the spine. Take your time, breathing into the chest. One more breath here. And we'll release both of our hands and we'll come back to the center there. For the next pose, we'll focus on the shoulders and stretching again. So drop your left hand down outside of your chair. Turn your right hand with the palm facing upwards. As you breathe in, reach high with the right hand. As you breathe out, press away towards the floor with your left hand and press your right hand up towards the sky. So we've got both arms pressing in opposite directions. Fingertips reaching in opposite directions firmly. Okay, let's relax. Drop your hand down. Shake out your fingers just a little. Hands down again. We'll get ready to do the second side. So your right hand is hanging. Left hand turns outwards. Breathing in, reaching high. And as you breathe out, both hands pressing in opposite directions. Fingertips really reaching. Your spine is still long, still nice and straight. Breathing into the chest. Let's breathe out, drop that top arm down, shake out the hands just for a few moments there. You may find sometimes a small feeling of pins and needles in the hands there, very normal. That's why we shake them out afterwards. Okay, the next pose is focused on the legs, the feet and the ankles. So come to the edge of your chair, take your time and sit very near the front. So say the front quarter of your chair is where you should be sitting. Make sure you still feel very stable and comfortable on your chair. Hands on the side of the chair or sides like that or sides at the front depending on what's more comfortable and depending on the chair that you have. Bring your feet out so that your heels are directly underneath your knees. We'll move with our right leg first of all. So bringing that leg up as high as is comfortable. You may have an angle like that. You may be a little bit higher. Whatever works for you is fine. If you find that you need to shift a little bit further back on your chair, always make sure you're starting from a comfortable position. So press your heel away from the body, press your toes towards the body. Now we'll switch. Press your toes away from the body and now back towards the body. And again switching. One more time, pressing the toes towards the body. And one more time, pressing the toes away from the body. All right, let's drop that down. Give your thigh a bit of a rub if you need to. It can be a lot of work on the thigh there. Let's reset our feet. And we'll get ready to go with the left leg this time. So lifting all the way up. Heel presses away, toes press towards the body. And we'll switch toes away from the body. Coming back now, toes towards the body, heel away. And pressing the toes away again. One more of each. Toes away. And we'll drop that one down as well. And again, rubbing that knee and thigh if you feel the need to. We'll take a break there just for a moment and we'll see you again in a few minutes. Welcome back to our chair yoga episode. The next pose we'll be doing is a wide leg pose. So come to the front quarter of your chair again and we'll take the legs as wide apart as you can comfortably. You can bring your hands to the middle of your chair if that's comfortable for you. And try to have your heels underneath your knees. If they're a little bit further out, that's okay. Ideally, underneath the knees is what we're looking for. Make sure your spine's nice and long, sitting nice and tall. So now the first part of this pose is lifting your heels up, pressing the ball of your foot really firmly into the floor. So really pressing down with the top part of your foot while the heel lifts. Now we'll switch, so lower the heels towards the floor. Now really press the heel of your foot into the floor. You'll find your outer legs engaging, your glutes engaging as well as you're pressing down through the heel. Let's get ready to switch again. Come back to the first movement. So lift the heels, press the top part of the foot really firmly into the mat or the floor underneath you. And now the heels coming down and pressing quite firmly into the floor, feeling the glutes working, feeling the legs working. Long, straight spine, remember. You shouldn't be feeling this on your spine at all. If you are, come out of the pose and reset. Let's lift the heels now, pressing the ball of the foot into the floor. Heels coming down, pressing into the ground. Keep your breathing even. Don't worry about controlling it so much. Just make sure you feel comfortable. Lift the heels now. And we'll relax there. Drop your heels down. Walk your feet back towards the center. Relax there for a moment. If you need to give your legs, your glutes a bit of a rub, you're more than welcome to. The next pose we're doing is a variation of pigeon pose to stretch out the hips just a little. We'll go with the right leg first of all. So lifting that leg up, coming onto the opposite knee. It's really important that your leg bone is on your knee. I don't want to see any feet or ankles because then the stretch will just be in the ankle rather than in the hip, which is what we're looking for here. So, ankle and leg bone on top of the knee. Now bring both of your hands to rest on your opposite leg. Take a moment to look at the placement of your heel that's on the floor. It should be directly underneath your knee. Take a few breaths here. And we'll stay just for a few moments. The weight of the arms on that knee are just increasing the stretch that we're getting through the hips a little more. It's important that we don't press down too firmly. The weight of your arms is more than enough. Stay for a few moments here while we give the muscles some time to stretch out. And we will get ready to switch to the other side. So use your arms, lift your leg, let that come down to the floor. Directly underneath the knee, we'll lift the left. So lifting up the left, again checking that alignment always, the leg bone on top of the knee. You might find, like me for example, one knee is substantially higher than the other. Very normal, nearly always the case actually. Bring both of your hands onto that other knee and just rest the weight of them there. Always checking your alignment. Feeling nice and relaxed through the spine through this one. Also with the breath, just relaxed, allowing the breath to come and go as it feels the need to. Take a few moments here. Okay. Let's finish this side as well. So again, lifting your leg, placing that foot back on the floor, realigning yourself, And take a breath here for a moment. The last pose that we're going to be doing today is a variation of our breathing and meditation pose. So you can now sit back in your chair, wiggle your hips backwards, allow your back to rest, allow your feet to come underneath your knees, turn your palms to face upwards and let them rest in your lap. If you like to interlace your fingers, you're more than welcome to do that, or you can just leave the palms facing upwards. Go with whichever works best for you. Let your head drop down just a fraction. Allow your eyes to close if that feels natural to you. Take a long breath in through the chest. Let yourselves really relax here for a few moments. We'll bring our focus and our attention to our breath as it moves through the body. Each breath that you take really helps you to feel just slightly more relaxed, slightly more still and quiet. Take a moment here just for yourself. Let's begin to allow ourselves to wake up now. Begin by wiggling your toes. And then also your fingers. Take a big breath into your chest. And then stretch if you need to in any way that feels good. Let your eyes open and become completely awake. Take as long as you need to come out of your breathing poses. Thank you very much for joining us for this episode. It'll be great to see you again next time.
This series is proudly brought to you by Uniting Age Well, supporting seniors to remain healthy, active and connected. For care and support tailored just for you, contact Uniting Age Well today.